Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the SoloQ Forecast. I'm your host Waddles, and today we're going to walk you through some of the hottest new trends you'll be seeing in your SoloQ games this week. We'll kick things off with a timely re-entry to the mid lane meta, Zilean. Inspired by GBM's 5-0 and 9 performance against TSM, the Chrono Keeper has been making his way back to the SoloQ rotations. In lane, Zilean's strength lies in his quick, easy pushing ability and his high damage area of effect harass. Out of lane, he's a lightning fast roamer with a whole lot of zone control, and step aside Alistar, this guy's got the perfect ultimate for tower diving, Chrono Shift. With the current meta's focus on towers as the main objective, it's easy to see why Zilean is starting to see play in the LCS, LCK, and elsewhere. Playing against Zilean is all about taking advantage of his weaker early game. Pick a ranged champion with good early damage to harass him while he pushes the lane with his time bombs. Also, as he's very often pushing, grab a pink ward on your first back and use it to set up an easy gank path for your jungler. However, do be wary of tower diving him once Chrono Shift is up, because you'll look awfully silly dying to tower shots while he resurrects. Here's a tip. If you see the Chrono Shift hourglass is on somebody, don't hit them. The active only lasts for 5 seconds now, so sometimes the best way to deal with it is just to ignore it. Another carry we're seeing more in the mid and bot lanes is our favorite bombardier, Corki. Corki's been showing up more and more frequently in pro play and is already a staple at the highest tier of SoloQ. So, like an off-balance handyman, he's bound to make his way down the ladder. Expect to see a lot more of this Yordle in the near future. Corki is a marksman who deals a lot of magic damage, which is an obvious strength for ensuring diversified damage types in your team composition. As a mid laner, Corki provides heavy damage, good wave clear, and, like Ezreal, is nearly impossible to zone thanks to all of the range on his abilities. Add that to an instantly accessible escape in the form of Valkyrie, and you've got yourself a mid laner who has the whole package. Since one of Corki's strengths is how safe his lane phase is, you shouldn't expect to be able to solo kill or gank him very often. You'll have the best chance against him if you pick a champion with long range poke and some CC as well, such as Ahri. Also, picking an AP mage will allow you to prioritize early magic resistance in the forms of Athene's Unholy Grail or Abyssal Scepter without compromising your future build path. Next, we'll turn our attention to the top lane, with a pick you may have seen a couple of times already, but you'll definitely be seeing more of in the near future, Quinn. Quinn soared into popularity in Korea after Smev picked her to counter Fiora in the LCK. Since then, she's been steadily migrating west and is starting to show up in the LCS and Western SoloQ. Quinn is an incredibly strong laner with a large number of favorable meta matchups, and, like Zilean, she brings huge map presence with her sonic speed roams and lightning fast tower takedowns. If you're laning against Quinn, let your jungler know when she uses her heightened senses active for vision. Its base cooldown is 50 seconds, yet many Quinn players skimp out on wards, believing themselves to be safe enough. 50 seconds is literally enough time for your mid laner to shove out a wave, run top, and gank for you before her W active is back up again. Lane phase is the only semblance of a cage Quinn has. Once it's over, she'll permanently roam the map and become immensely slippery. So, as a general message to all players, better to roam to the Quinn's lane than to let her roam to yours. Finally, we'll talk about a new trend in Korean SoloQ, Elise support. Elise is an unusual support pick that fits the current meta due to her strong tower diving and roaming. The general idea is that she can make it through lane with her poke damage and range cocoon initiation, but the real trouble starts when she gets out of lane. At that point, she'll buy swiftness boots and start building tanky, allowing her to roam around the map pulling off tower dive gank after tower dive gank on unsuspecting laners. When playing against support Elise, there are a couple of soft counters available to you as an opposing support. First, try Bard. He brings good sustain to counter Elise's poke, mind-bogglingly versatile utility with Magical Journey and Tempered Fate, and, best of all, you can use Q to stun Elise against their spiderlings. Take that! The second soft counter is the support steer himself, Alistar. Again, on the sustain point, but more so because he provides excellent disengage that will destroy both Elise's trades and her tower dives. However, again as a general note, you should be extremely wary of her roaming prowess, especially if you're playing top or mid. She loves to leave bottom lane and roam there and tower dive again and again and again. Alright summoners, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in to the SoloQ forecast. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you have any questions or suggestions for our future shows. I'm Waddles, and from all of us here at Wazabi, goodbye, and may the pentakills be with you.